It's also addictive. I don't wanna feel anymore. It's too real. You made it
Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be breaking down the song you just heard, so let's get into that. So this track is made in the style of the label Selected, so artists like Nu Aspect, Astrality, and Avaion, to name a few. Selected house tracks stand out in these ways. They usually have 2 drops. They're typically short songs, around 4 minutes for the extended mix. They have tight and clear drum samples, but playing through the drops mainly, and they have a vocal to drive the entire track, as well as minimal effects and on the instrumental. So let's show you this one here. Alright, to start out, I have this pad that plays throughout the entire track, and that sounds like this. I'm going to mute each instrument here. We have the first one, which is a sine wave with some modulation. Sounds like that. Followed by this preset from Sam Smyers. Then I have this one I made. And this pad plays throughout the track with some cutoff automation right here. Like during the drop, it comes in. Like so. The next part is the main lead, which is this pluck right here. So just playing root notes, as you can see, along with some top melody. I found that this note right here works best on an A instead of A sharp. It sounds like this. Works the best, followed by this top lead layered on top. Alright, and then I have everything going through a bus, which sounds like this, without any effects. It's just a bunch of compression, EQ, saturation, all the good stuff. All the effects are either in the synth or on this bus. And for each effects chain, I have one for the pads, one for the leads, so they're not conflicting with their compressors. All right. After that, I have some atmospheres to fill out this intro. I have this one here. Let me unmute it. So that's an atmosphere with a Valhalla supermassive delay on it. And then just some EQ to cut out some high-end to leave space for the rest of the track, which is mainly the vocals. And then I have this other ambience here, some rain, and then this other like stationary pad note. So with everything you get this. And then I have a verse bass come in, and I'm going to show off the bass right now. It's mainly this preset here. Right here. Just some saw waves. And that's getting sidechained with this automation right here. The next thing I have is this drop bass, which is 3 layers. The top layer, mid layer for a pluck, and a sub. Very typical pattern for deep house. Next I have these 2 vocal chops that play throughout the drop. Is a cymatics vocal chop. Where I like the first part and this part right here, just to fill out some variation, some call and response beyond just the melody. So they have a light sidechain, that's this one right here. And then I also have this vocal as well, which is also a cymatics vocal. And then I'm going to show off the drums right now. Started with some kicks, and I get this. It's my kick, short and punchy. There's a low end, and then I have this top to fill out the transient. Here's my clap, which is a few layers, snare, high-end clap, and then I have a pre-shifted clap right here. Along with this little percussion loop, plays throughout the song. Crash, typical. And then my hi-hat is 3 layers. I have these 3 layers right now. And each one has a little bit of reverb on it. And this EQ is shaving off some of the high end. Then I have the shaker loop here for the second part of the drop, along with some other hi-hats, panned and such, just to fill out the high end. And the shaker loop is sidechained with this right here. All right, this is the session with the vocals. I started with an acapella from Cymatics, one of their acapella packs. Pitched it up 100 cents right here. And then without any effects, it sounds like this.
I'll be hanging my head up. I'm leaving it all to you now.
And then with all the effects, she sounds like this.
I'll be hanging my head up. I'm leaving it all to you now.
And then has these harmonies that come in right now.
Leaving it all to you now.
So this vocal only had 2 layers, the mid layer and then the harmonies. So I had to maneuver it in such a way that it filled out most of the frequencies and stereo width. And the way I did that was just through time-based effects, vintage verb, and some delay and reverb in this plugin here. And these are for delay throws, which you'll hear
You now,
right now.
you now.
Those things. I did some automation on her voice with this multiplier right here for when she sings this high note.
It's too real.
Instead of throwing a compressor on it. That was easier in my opinion. And there's like this weird gap here with volume, so that's what I did with this. And that's repeated on the second part. And then I have this verse section, or rather breakdown section.
Anymore. Don't wanna feel anymore.
Which they're just like some ad-libs that she threw in at the end of the acapella. Alright, here is the mastering session for the track. It is fairly simple and straightforward, and I'm going to briefly go over that right now. So I started with a dynamics compressor on all three bands here, highs, high mids, and mids, and nothing on the low end, as you can see. And this is about 1 dB on each band, so not that much compression. Followed by Crafter, which is a soft saturator clipper, and a bit of gain on each band, as you can see. Followed by a balance to automate the buildups, which is this right here. Just down like around 2 dB to make the buildup quieter at the end than the drop, so it has a bit more impact. Followed by a mid-side EQ, just to take off some side information. There was a little bit, but not that much because I already cut that during the mixdown. Maximizer here, which is on IRC1. I'm just going to do low latency for the playback. And then clipping on the second one, and this one is clipping the peaks at 0.1 dB true peak, so right before 0, and a little bit of soft clipping. This has been my 2-reel production breakdown. It's a very quick overview of the track. I produced it in May of 2025 and released it in June of 2025, so a very quick release schedule here. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.